Good morning and good afternoon, depending on wherever you at. The time is recording. This is episode 144 of the Straight This Zone podcast, man. I'm with a great group of guys, the three amigos right here. Kyrie, introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? Glad to be back, man. Hey, viewers, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to us, man. Help us out. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Get us out there. Johnny, introduce yourself to the people, man.
Hello, world. Just Johnny tapping back in again, baby. Listen, I'm just an analyst, not an advocate. I'm just an analyst, yo. Appreciate the
Yeah,
viewers. Keep watching, bro. We need y'all. Y'all keep us going. Y'all know we just be on here geeking out, and y'all just be watching it.
absolutely, man. Seriously, just I see our subscribers go up every single week, honestly, and hey, we really appreciate it. We're grateful for that. You guys motivate us to keep going and excelling and pushing this podcast beyond the limits of what originally we intended it to be. So, shout out to
Right.
you guys for keeping us up, keeping us motivated. We just got a passion for sports and love talking about it, even if it is just to talk about it. So with that being said, we just strictly basketball, man. There's a lot of basketball, a lot of newsworthy type of moves been happening. NBA All Star Weekend just pretty much ended last weekend. You know, yeah, really unimpressive All Star game once again. At this point, I'm really calling for the All Star game. I would just stop having it all together. At this point.
Yeah,
If this is
honestly,
where
honestly.
this is where it's gonna go at this point, honestly, because the 3 point contest is better than the best event.
At least have it at the end of the year at this point. Maybe they'll
Oh
care
yeah,
more.
maybe. Yeah, you know what? That might just be it. But before we get to that
Everybody,
topic,
everybody, everybody know they hoop harder in the summertime.
everyone
Hey, we
hoop
go
better in the
live.
summertime. They kill it at these gym runs though, like you said, Kyrie. They kill it at these gym runs, and then when it's the All Star, it's like when's the last time the All Star game was competitive? Like 2018, 2019, maybe.
28, 2008,
Because when did Giannis?
2009.
What year was Giannis blocked and Bron shot, and Bron blocked Giannis' shot? They was going at it, so I think that was like 2021.
Yeah, but that was
Might have
all
been.
the recent times. It wasn't until like the fourth quarter when it was close, and it was like it wasn't even
Because
East and West at that time.
I think the target score was like 157. I forgot which All Star was. I don't know if it was 21 or.
And that BS was corny
Probably.
too. Nobody cared about that target score stuff,
Yeah,
bro.
the
Like,
first year they did the target score, it was like it did
It
keep
was
people watching.
competitive.
It was a little lit. The first year they
it was
did the
something
target
new.
score,
Yeah, it was something new.
but the last time the All Star game been worth watching was
Yeah.
it was the year MJ came out of retirement, and it was him.
Oh man,
I forgot who was guarding him, and they gave MJ
you
the last
crazy.
shot. They gave MJ the last shot for the All Star game when he played for the Wizards. Like that was the last time that the All Star game had that many views,
What? I say Kobe's
or
last
maybe
All Star
Kobe's
game.
last ride,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
Kobe's last
We
season.
lost All Star game with that.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that All
yeah.
Star game was
I
packed.
fucking with it.
But it's been a minute,
Man,
fellas.
R.I.P. Kobe, man. We all love you here on this podcast.
Yes,
Big
sir.
time Kobe fan.
So,
But with that being said, we're gonna go to the East Coast, man, and the Brooklyn Nets making some real changes, man. I mean, wasn't that long ago they sacrificed their whole draft picks in the future to get KG, Paul Pierce, and they did a try to do another big three with KD and Kyrie and James Harden. So that was two big time failures at this point. Brooklyn Nets should really just stop trying to get superstars and just organically build through the draft. And listen, they decided to go with a coach he's real popular with the players. The players love him. He's transitioning from college. He wasn't coaching college at the time, but he's got a nice resume in the college game. So, and let's see what he could do to the NBA. Kevin Ollie, man. So Kyrie broke this to me because I actually happened to miss it, and I was kind of shocked. Like, whoa. So Kyrie, I'm gonna bring the floor to you, and you tell me what you thought about the Brooklyn Nets hiring this guy. And a lot of coaches transitioning to the NBA. You think he's one of those guys that could be successful, or he'll probably flop.
well, Kevin Ollie, I think if I'm not mistaken, had some time like as an assistant in the NBA, like
I do,
prior to
yeah,
this.
I do recall that. I do
Yeah,
With
recall that.
but
our Sixers,
yeah, yeah. I want to say OKC too, but I might be wrong. He might have played there towards the end of his career. I might be wrong.
yeah, might have been.
No, I mean,
I
he's
think
a
he was a
journeyman.
coach. I
He
remember
be
him in a
running.
suit on OKC.
Either
Yeah.
way, I remember him having some really funny competitive teams back when he was at UConn, and
You saw what he did
it's
to
hard.
us in 2014.
Mm-hmm. And it's always hard to compare the college game to the NBA because it's just two totally different games. And we seen coaches like John Calipari, like try to make that transition over to the A, and it just didn't work out for me. And that's why certain guys stay so long, like Jim Boeheim and like Tom Crean and guys like that. Patino, I think Patino tried his hand in the NBA as well too, though. But certain guys like stayed in the NBA because they know that they like Leonard Hamilton. Certain guys stayed in the NBA like college for so long because they know that's their lane and like the NBA is different. And so yeah, with Kevin Ollie, I want to see I want to see how he because the Nets are dead in the water this season. It's over. I think they're like 21-33 or 35 or something like that.
11th place. 11th
And
place.
I just want to the main thing you want to see from the Nets and from Kevin Ollie so far is some type of a little more continuity as far as their like their rotations and stuff go. Like with Cam Thomas being in and out, can he buy into Kevin Ollie being more of a willing passer with his teammates? And more of a willing defender. Can he get these guys to play better around Mikal Bridges? Can he get Mikal Bridges to be more consistent? You just want to see these guys end strong. So as far as that, I can't really judge him until I see him next season with a fresh squad that's him and that's built to him and to his catering from the front office, which they pretty much announced right after the news broke that they're gonna be doing a lot of retooling and stuff like that. They got a lot of draft capital. They got a lot of cap room. So they're going to be making a lot of moves to build around Mikal Bridges there in Brooklyn because they want to keep him and they see him as being a future there. As far as as far as Jock Vaughn, and I will give it right back to you, Colin. I'm not surprised at all because Jock Vaughn, and I said it before, I believe on this pod, but he's never struck me as a very good development coach. And that showed his time in Orlando. When he was Orlando, he didn't have good teams at all. He didn't really develop or make any like household names out of that era. And he didn't really do that here in Brooklyn either. He came and like I said, like real young guys we could really look forward to were given like inconsistent minutes and haven't really been featured much like Day'Ron Sharpe and Cam Thomas. And I don't know. It just doesn't really look good for him.
I actually did read a report that a couple he had an offense where everybody gets a shot, and certain players is just like, well, you got to focus on kind of
Yeah,
like how we're
and you seen that because Mikal's scoring went down when he first got to Brooklyn. He was torching it out there, and his
right.
scoring went down. He even admitted it on Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart's podcast that my shooting took a dip this season. Like my shooting took a dip a little bit this season, but I'm getting back on that though. And I think that might have been a hit towards this coming. Like we
Looking
got
back
some
at it.
yeah, looking back at it, that might have been a hit towards something like this coming. Like, look, there's gonna be a bit of a change. I'm gonna be getting a ball more. I'm gonna be getting more shots up more, and as he should,
As
because
he should,
they're a lot better when he's putting up 26, 27 points a game, and Cam Thomas can kind of ease in and get his 18, 17, 18, 19 points. And it's just all about what with them though is just about the other guys around them. We know what Nick Claxton is, and he's very good for them too. I would consider him a piece going forward as well. But outside of that, those other guys kind of have to come together and become good role guys for those stars right there. And but we'll see what Kevin Ollie does and what the Nets do. But I can't really judge this move until next season. Really, until next season, how they end up this season.
Okay, that's a fair point, Kyrie. I don't disagree with it. I mean, Johnny, Kevin Ollie, even back in his UConn days, he was known to make nothing out of something, and let's see what he's also known as a guy, he can relate to the players, he's really a player's coach, some would say. How do you think he really could help this team, what they had stored for what they had planned for the future? Do you think he's a guy that could, kind of bring him back out of the desert?
Well, I tell you what, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Real quick to your Mikal Bridges point, Kyrie, he just gave the Hornets 45 before the All-Star break is over. So I think they're going to start. I think they're starting to hear him out.
Wait, hold
He
on,
just
hold on. Let's be real, Johnny. Let's be real. Everybody here recording right now can go get a Hornets 45 right now. Let's be real.
Really? Whoa! Whoa!
But
Okay.
listen, it's a sign. It's a greater principle to, like you said, they're going to keep. They know what they at least they know that they have something that they can go ahead with, and they kept that
Right.
core with Spence added Schroeder. Now here we go, right? Brooklyn Nets, another coaching change. They do this. They are not afraid to move on from coaches. They are not afraid to make changes in the middle of the season,
I don't
particularly in the
think
front office.
I will say this, John, before I sorry to interrupt you. There
Hmm
was one coach I feel like they shouldn't have got rid of. That was Kenny. I forgot how to pronounce his name. Yeah, there you go, Kyrie. Yeah, they shouldn't have let him go. I think he was doing phenomenal. Then they go to the playoffs that year. That was with D'Lo. Was it with
Yeah,
Rondé Hollis Jefferson?
Yep. That was a good
Yeah,
coach. I personally liked Avery Johnson in their even earlier years. We've mentioned this
yeah,
before. They've had a
I
couple
like
good
Gary too.
coaches where it was head scratchers. Not gonna lie, this is not a head scratcher. We understand
right.
this coaching change, but we do understand that Brooklyn does like to move on, so they're not afraid of it. Number two, as far as bringing in who they brought in, Kevin Ollie. Well, listen here. He's filled big shoes before, fellas. He did very
Mm,
well in UConn. Did very
yeah,
well. 2014
he
championship.
kicked our ass.
Taking on filling on those big shoes of that coach Calhoun, was it that he had to replace, I believe.
Calhoun.
Uh,
I think he was younger.
Dan
Yeah, he
Hurley.
was he had to fill a big coaching role there. He had some success with there. I don't
Oh, you asking who the
understand
coach? Well, you asking who the coach now? Who the coach he
yeah that he
replaced with?
replaced that he replaced.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was Jim Calhoun, wasn't it?
Calhoun,
yeah,
right,
I can't
right.
believe
So
I
he's
said Dan. Oh man,
yeah, yeah.
It's Hurley now.
So Calhoun, right. So there you go. He's filled big shoes before. So maybe
right.
like him coming into the situation, we'll see what happens. Number two, I wouldn't. It's kind of slim pickings for coaches right now off the
Mhm.
top, and honestly, number three, like I said, he had some respectable success, and he's got NBA experience, coaching experience, and on court experience, like you guys have
Mhm.
mentioned before. I do want to circle one thing though. He got fired back in uh I forgot what year that was. He got fired. It was like recently after he won the chip for like violating NCAA policies from like
Yeah,
2013
yeah,
18. So it was like a bit of controversy, and then he like got picked up in 2021 as an assistant coach, and then he got his shot again. So I really don't. I feel like that coming into a new scenario that gives him the chip on his shoulder that
yeah.
he
Hmm.
probably would need to prove that he does belong back in the NBA to be a consistent coach. And you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's too early to judge. Like we said before, it's too early to judge right now. But I understand the move by the Brooklyn Nets because we've seen them do this before with coaches. And but as far as it is kind of a head scratcher to me of who they would bring in, but as far as who they did bring in, Kevin Ollie, I can't really throw dirt on him yet, man. He's got coaching experience on all levels, and he's got a little bit of success. We'll see where this goes. We'll see where this goes. They do have something though. You always want to have at least one player to have a coach work with, and we'll see how he works with Mikal Bridges. We'll see what they do with that, and they can go ahead. Shoot, man, 11th place.
Well,
Nobody expected this for Brooklyn, bro. Well, I don't know where they heading to next year.
I mean, I don't think Brooklyn was really gonna make any noise this upcoming season. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me personally, but I didn't think, and even if they were to go to the playoffs by some chance, I didn't have them really doing anything either. So,
Mm.
I mean,
Jacque
I
Vaughn got
don't
to fit
know.
somewhere, y'all. Jacque Vaughn
Yeah,
got to fit somewhere.
I
I
mean,
mean,
but
he gotta be an assistant or something, yo. Like that's
Yeah,
like
I mean, so wait, I do want to ask you guys this because it's still on the topic of coaching, right? We're gonna go from Brooklyn to Milwaukee, and it's like so far it's been pretty, you know, yeah, it hasn't been, yeah, and
I
then it
just
gets
want
to
to
the
say, I just
point
want to say, hold on, Colin, not to cut you off, but I just want to say,
where,
I just seen Doc in Milwaukee drop a game to the Memphis Hustle right before the All Star break. You can continue. That's all I wanted to say. That was
man, Chris
that
had
was
a field day right now if he was on there. Oh man, and it's like Pat Bev is going against JJ Redick on Twitter. He's trying to defend his coach now. It's like, oh my
I keep it
god.
that.
And it's like,
Pat is
it's
man.
like, what's going on?
that
Uh,
guy is
yo,
a
at this point,
character.
I really do believe Giannis is going to leave Milwaukee. I really do. I don't know when his contract is up. Maybe 2028, 2029.
So he just signed something new. He just signed
Just,
something new.
Oh yeah, I don't know what
Why they went
direction
and
they're
got
going.
Dame? That's why they went and got Dame because they locked him up for like long term.
Hmm.
So now he's got a huge contract that would have to move. It would have to be a whole lot of stuff coming back. Like if he were to if he were to request a trade, it would take a lot to work out.
Man, but let me just get some thoughts
It really would.
on Doc Rivers so far before we go to the next topic of the All Star break. I mean, listen, did you guys expect him to do this? I mean, listen, we still got the other half of the season. Could it be a turnaround for Doc? Could he, find a cure? He is the doctor, or we just calling it? We don't see the Bucks doing anything this playoffs at all. Go ahead, Kyrie.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I know Johnny got something to say about his former coach. Doc definitely said right after that game against the Memphis Hustle that half of these guys were in the game and half the guys were in Cabo. And I think that pretty much sums up Doc's couple weeks there in Milwaukee. So
Man, I don't even know why they fired Griffin for.
he
What
he
was the
doesn't know
reason?
either apparently.
Like
He
I
doesn't
read
he doesn't know either apparently.
I read something that Doc even asked like manager when they was interviewing like, yo, why did you get rid of
Yeah,
him?
he
So it's
didn't he
like
didn't know either.
it must have been something behind the scenes at this point.
This, can we all agree that Milwaukee's problem really is outside of like coaching now was all like the whole time just personnel just personnel wise.
Well,
It,
I
Like
mean,
like
shoot,
I'm talking about roster construction. As far as roster construction, that's been Milwaukee's problem. It wasn't coaching really like before Adrian, like before that.
yeah, it was always the roster construction, but uh, I just felt like his game gives you everything but defense. So it's kind of like
But it's like you should have known that and made the move like to kind
right,
of
right. You did your
yeah.
research, right? You did your homework. So
Like
let's start there.
You're swapping Drew Holiday out for
I
Damian
wouldn't,
Lee.
me personally. I see why at the time I was ecstatic about it because I said, man, Giannis has that guy where if he doesn't drop 40, he drops 25, has 12 rebounds. He's got Dame that can come in and give you 35 to 40 with 8, 7 assists, 9 assists. And I thought
How-
they was a
And
match made.
all that was exciting and stuff though, but we knew their defense was going to lack.
Yeah, we did know
We
that.
knew it. We can go back to the episode right before the season, like right when it
They
happened.
trade.
Like yeah, this is a nice move and all. This is good for the playoffs and all, but like yo, they're gonna miss the hell out of Drew.
That's why they traded for Pat Bev. And Pat
it,
Bev's already playing defense on and off the court.
and notice they wasn't hanging their head on Chris Middleton on defense.
Nah,
They
nah,
sure
nah,
enough wasn't.
They said, "Yo, we're gonna go ahead and trade
They sure
somebody."
wasn't.
nah. Okay.
That
All right.
guy,
Well,
that
listen. I
boy.
mean, listen. Let's hopefully
You had
Doc
enough,
can.
Johnny? You had nothing to get off your chest, Johnny?
That's- First of all, I just
Bro,
want to
we
say
all
how,
ears. We all
like,
ears.
I just want to. I'm not trying to make this personal because listen, we analyze, but it's just certain
Crazy.
people that just gets away. Like why? Like nobody blames Chris Middleton for nothing. Like
Mm.
The Bucks have never like they don't give him nothing but success. The one time the Bucks won the chip, like he was such a big part and he was one of the core day one veterans. But every time things go
It,
down, they just keep skipping over his name and they point to the lack of coaching and the lack of they never had it together in the front office. Then it's Giannis, and then now it's
wait.
Dame, and like I just feel like but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna get too personal because as a Sixers fan, welcome to our world. It sounds like they're talking about us. Roster construction issues, trading the wrong, can't get the personnel right, can't figure out the coach. Sound like us, and not even just us. It sounds like an NBA
It's
problem.
not us
It's
anymore,
not an
though.
uncommon issue. You know what I mean? You gotta fit. You just got to get through it. Like it's not. Kyrie, you've had that issue as a Knicks fan just go the years, the ups and downs of getting the right pieces to fit, the right
Oh yeah.
coaching. It's a process, bro. And like, yeah, not to sound like man, but it really is a process.
It literally no, it
And
literally is.
this is why I say slim pickings for coaches. Now here we go, right? Doc Rivers. I said we'll see how this plays out. But as a Sixers fan and former Doc Rivers supporter, I have to say it's happening again. It's just happening again. this one thing about Doc Rivers is his lack of accountability.
Yeah,
Notice
yeah.
every time, no matter what team he's on, it's all he does a very good job of
Mm-hmm.
indirectly not taking accountability as a coach. He doesn't. He's if he's not singling out players, he's singling out like indirect groups, or he's spinning it some way to make it seem like it's not his fault,
Yep.
and he may like not throw you under the bus. He may put a pillow under there,
No,
and
no,
then
no, no,
tuck
no,
you
no.
under the bus, like
No,
politely.
he'll throw you under the bus. Kendrick
Yeah,
pointed
he'll
this
do
out
it
earlier.
politely though. He'll
Yeah,
do it
Kendrick.
politely.
No, he didn't do it politely with Ben. Well, was that politely? If a reporter asks you about your star point guard and they ask you, do you think he could be the leader or the point guard of the team, and he says, I don't know. Is that
Well, I tell you what, if
that's
we
pretty
know how
direct?
Doc talk, we know how Doc addressed the media when he know he about to get fired. He ain't the best person to talk to. We see it time and time again. The Doc last couple of interviews with the media before he leaves his respected team aren't always the best. It's always him and his feelings. He be like low key snapping, but he don't never own up. That's
Right.
nothing I can respect. That's not leadership qualities. That's not like I really think he got by based off of the roster that he had when he was with Boston, and on top of the fact that maybe the players related to him a little bit more. They had that old hit mentality. I'm not sure, maybe which is the better fit. But time and time and again, this guy has proven that he can't get production out of the players. He can't get that type of consistency. Not and bro, honestly, I'm surprised that this is happening in the season with him. He at least seems to be tolerable of a coach during the season. It's the
Right.
playoffs that he folds. They have yet to get a consistent winning streak here. And then on top of that, you got possible locker room disruption. And of course, social media is involved. But JJ Redick said this on I think an episode of First Take not too long ago. Like even as a former player and playing for Doc, he said there's no accountability that's ever being taken. He doesn't like take on that leadership role that makes you want to respect and play better. And what did he say? A lot of guys were in Cabo. And what was his last statement?
No,
You know what I'm saying?
he
Like
said he said a lot of things
what
on Twitter.
Cabo.
He said a lot of things on
that's a
Twitter.
Doc Rivers line, bro. It sounded like Doc Rivers to me. You know what I'm saying? When things go left, it just does, he doesn't seem like the guy you would turn to, or the guy that I need. Like when it's fourth quarter and it's 3 minutes left and it's like a three possession game, like I can't believe him. I can't believe what he's telling us in that huddle, and I don't think he has it, man. I really don't. But at the end of the day, Milwaukee did what the Nets just did. Like it's slim pickings for coaches. Like they're grasping at straws here. They're trying to hold what they can together, and I don't think it's working, bro. I really don't. It might, like I said before, it might have to come down to the players. Team captains might have to step up. Y'all might have to call players meetings and do things on your own time. But at the end of the day, Doc is going to be Doc.
Yeah,
That's
I like that you circled it back to that, Johnny, because like as we've been talking about this, it brought back memories of when they fired Mike Budenholzer, and I was thinking to myself, like, I don't think they should have gone this route. Like part of me got it. Like I understand maybe Giannis got tired of him. Maybe he felt
Yeah,
like
they
they
didn't like
had to him. But I always thought, me personally, like I always thought Bud was a good coach, even back in Atlanta. Like I always like Bud's coaching style, and I think he fit well with Milwaukee. And that's just like that's one of my other things with teams. Like I get it, like you said, Johnny, it's slim pickings with teams, but it's like you can't expect to get any type of continuity or any consistency with your teams if you don't keep your guys there for so long. Like after a couple of seasons, and a lot and bad seasons happen for plenty of reasons. That like nowadays, it's all kinds of injuries. Like one major injury to your mate, like to one of your major guys, and your season's down the drain. And yeah, things it's made it a little easier with the playing tournament and stuff like that. But stuff like that is a dice roll as well. And I don't know, it's really cutthroat for coaches out here. And I
good.
think teams are going to soon realize like moving on from coaches like quickly, like just moving on is not really that's not really the recipe. You see the Lakers going through it right now, blaming guys, getting guys out of there, new guy in here, blaming guy, get out of here, new guy in here, and it's just like I don't know. Teams like that, teams that seem to operate like that, and I want to give my Knicks some props here because like we stuck it out with Tom Thibodeau. And when we had that down year right after making the playoffs, after getting eliminated by the Hawks, and missing the playoffs the year after that. A lot of coaches would have got tossed to the
That
side.
normally you're gone. I'm
Yeah,
about to say it's
Um,
hot
um,
seat. Like if
yeah,
you're not out for sure,
right.
and it happened with
So
Tibbs before. Chi-town, they
yes.
wasn't having it.
Yeah.
in Minnesota, right? Did he leave Minnesota himself? I can't remember.
Not sure.
Something like that. But yeah, I think all in all, like to say, I think teams are going to start realizing like your coaches can only do so much. It's like you gotta. It's about the guys that's actually out there playing on the floor.
Exactly.
Like the rotation going out there playing on the floor every night, and your coach can only do so much, but guide those guys and give those guys the right schemes and the right plays in certain times to get them a win, and switching that up, switching that continuity up, switching those schemes, switching those styles of coaching and play styles. It's not. I don't think it's gonna show long term to be good for teams.
Which is why I pray that as a Citrus fan, we hold on to Nick Nurse because that's a good coach that shouldn't have went,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Nick
floated
Nurse
around,
has
and
got
we
to
got
be
him. We need to
one
knock
of the
him.
best
We need to
coaches
lock
we've
him in
had.
because, like you said, Kyrie, we live in a league now where these guys darn near superhuman on the court. You know what I'm saying? It's really like players. The time of the ability to take over a game has like tripled since back in the day. Back in the day, you really needed solid coaching and a system and the
Mm.
triangle offense, things of that nature. And nowadays, it's like the way these players are, like their ability to take over a game. All you need is a coach that just probably can just manage a good system. And when I say what that is, just put players in position to score and to score. Run a good motion. Nice little in out of bounds play. Nice little set from when you guys maybe y'all missed 3 shots. Run a nice little go-to set. Like little
You
pick
talk
and
about
roll
Eric
action. The
Spoelstra.
players will do the rest. Yeah, exactly. We live in yeah, bro. We live in an age where you don't gotta coach much, just a little bit, bro. The sets that Nick Nurse runs, where every player off ball constantly moving, gave Pat Bev 28 points. Gave Pat Bev dropped 27 one time. Paul Reed gave, I think, what was it, Boston, like almost a 30 piece. And
Right.
that's not because yes, these guys are athletes, but at the same time, if you got a coach that can implement a good, like a little couple good plays here and there, just put
Yeah.
players in good positions, they can do the rest, bro. And at the end of the day, like I'm glad. I hope we hold on to Nick Nurse and like yeah, good coaches are hard to come by.
One of the best coaches you ever had. Oh man. All right. Let's go on to the All Stars. They recently just, took place and was once again another disappointment as usual. The 3-point contest. I never thought I would be cheering for the 3-point contest. It's usually the dunk contest that got all my motivation and cheers and attention. And that's been since 2016 when they robbed Zach. No, when they robbed Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon,
Yeah.
Awful.
yo, they
I
was
think
just
I think
freestyle.
that's what really killed the slam dunk contest. I think that's what really killed him because it's like what's going on here?
Yo, man, I remember that.
Listen, listen. I'm gonna swing it to you, Kyrie. Listen, the All Star at this point. What needs to change? Like what has to happen? What like Anthony Edwards actually had a quote where he said, "Guys treat it because this All Star break. They kind of treat it as like a vacation." So
Yeah.
they don't, yeah. So it's like, man, when you put it like that, it's like, well, like what? What incentives do they have to put out there to? I don't know. Usually it's like the pride of the game. Usually that'd be enough of an incentive.
That's what's going. The pride is gone. And All Star Weekend was very cringe and like corny to me, yo. Like it's
Oh
been
yeah,
corny for some time,
oh
but
yeah,
like it's been like this the down lowest it's been. Like I'm gonna break it down.
oh
The
yeah.
dunk contest. First of all, I didn't
Mm.
even I watched like the ending
I didn't
of
finish it.
the skills contest. But it seemed like Team Indiana with like Hadley and I think Ben Matherin and Miles Turner. Those guys are actually playing hard and were playing with some pride. Those guys actually had some pride all weekend long and really like embrace having
Hmm.
All Star Weekend and like in their hometown. And with the skills competition, I missed some of that, but like I said, it was nice to see them put in effort. The Rising Stars Challenge was actually very fun to watch.
It is.
Um,
That's
It
what I
was.
liked.
That was
um,
one of the.
I like
Yeah,
the
I love it.
structure of
It's
it.
never really
Excellent structure.
disappointed when I think about
nice
it. The
job.
Rising Stars never really disappointed in my opinion. I will say that much.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because they play like they got something to prove, and it's not a hundred
Hmm.
percent. but they still play like with perfect example. Ben Matherin and Jaden Ivey's little beef in the middle of their game because you got to
Love it.
think Ben
Love
Matherin
it.
is drafted by Indiana. Jaden Ivey grew up and played college there at Purdue. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
for
like
that.
and I think I can't remember, but one of them went before the other. And
Right.
so it's like that tension was right there. Ben Matherin came up was like, "Yo, even in Rising Stars, you can't guard me." And seeing that live, yo, was like, oh,
Yes.
that's tough.
It just
And
remind me, yeah, plays to talk trash, man.
it was a solid game. And then what Johnny pointed to, the structure, having the two sophomore teams play, and then the winner of that plays between the G League and I think it was the G League team and the rookie squad. And the G League team beat the rookie squad, and they did it, and they
Mac
looked like it was easy.
McClung, baby.
Matt McClung, Alondes
McClung.
Williams, the boy Alondes Williams,
Yeah.
that laid Wemby had the nice little jump shot in the corner. Bro, it was some really good games in the Roger Stars.
Well, I
They signed
actually
players
I
in the
actually
contract.
watched the draft. That was so interesting. I watched the draft on Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report showed
Really,
the free draft when Team Jalen, Team Tamika Catchings,
yeah,
Team Pau Gasol were draft.
yeah.
That right there
Yeah.
was actually interesting.
Yeah.
That's tough. I
Yeah,
wish I would have known. I probably would have watched that as well. Knowing that
yeah.
though,
Shout
I'm
out
definitely
Bleacher
getting
Report.
to next year.
Last
They
shout
got
out Bleacher Report. Yeah.
But the Rising Stars, that was probably my favorite part of the weekend because the dunk contest was garbage. I'm gonna keep it quick. Jalen Brown needs to be paid. The rest of his $300 million contract can never come near a dunk contest ever again. It was completely corny, bro.
Kai Sinet, jumping over Kai
I
Sinet was
can't
like,
believe
how was that impressive?
the failed
I was
attempt
shocked.
midair was just.
Like the best
That
part
was
of his performance was shouting out "Rest in peace, Terrence Clark." And
it. That was it.
and the dunk he did didn't even like it was like like you can't even wasn't supposed to do that, bro. Like it was no tribute like
He
the
got no
dunk on
business
the
doing
side
that
was
though,
not
man.
the dunk with the glove on the left hand. It was all super. It was all super corny, bro. It was all super corny. Jacob Toppin should
It,
have got in over him, but what my conspiracy is,
JT got robbed. He got robbed.
he got robbed. And
Yeah, he got
I know you're
robbed.
not just saying that. You're not just saying that because you're a Kentucky fan. I'm not just
No,
saying that
no, no,
because
no. I'm not even a fan of him at all, period. But just he got robbed. Like,
his
yeah.
dunks were a lot better. His dunks were, even though they weren't crazy, they were better than Jalen Brown. My
They were way
conspiracy
better.
is they didn't want to see two G League guys in the finals.
That's
They
why,
didn't.
you know what? You know
That's
what?
what it was
Yeah.
about. Oh man.
Yeah.
With how
Yeah.
bad Jalen Brown looked, with how like Jaime Jaquez was super regular. Like everybody jumping over Shaq now, bro. That's not cool no. Like it's not
That's
cool.
not cool.
Like it's not cool no more.
I know Shaq getting tired of it.
Shaq,
I,
no, no,
Shaq
no,
got
Pick
to.
me.
no. Honestly speaking, I don't think Shaq would care if the dunks were actually spectacular and it was. He would probably be all aboard with it. But I mean, just look at the dunks, man. Like Jalen Brown, I know he wasn't proud of winning that. I know he wasn't. He could have been. He could have been. But
Nah.
hey,
But I'm glad Mac won though, because Mac's the only one that came with some type of creativity and tried. Like he actually tried. Like
Yo,
that's
I loved all
what I
weekend. Oh, yo, he showed out.
mm-hmm.
Mac always been since high school, man. Kyrie, we
Oh,
go.
that
We
shit was
watch his
bullshit.
Kyrie. We watch his mixtapes and ball. We watched all of it, man. I was a big fan of Mac. I was hoping he'd do something.
But what do y'all think got to come? What do y'all think they got to do different to the dunk contest? I know everybody's saying the stars got to be in it, like the real high flyers got to be in it, but it's like at a time like this where you got a guy like Shaden Sharp that's hurt and most likely out for the season. Zach Levine's hurt and out for the season. I had one other guy in mind, a high flyer, but I can't really think of it. But sometimes stars aren't all available, and then the remaining stars just simply don't want to do it. So it was like, who do you go to? Where do you like? What do you do to try to make it more entertaining?
Should there be consequences involved, like in terms of when I like the All Star game itself? Should it be like I don't even know what consequences would probably like? Why does it even have to get to that point? You know,
It's,
like that's
you can't punish the guy while you're honoring him.
Yeah,
right. He
as
can't. He
far as
can't. Like
we're talking as far as the dunk contest, like how to alter
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the
so
dunk contest.
That's I would
I was
maybe
talking
horse,
more All Star.
maybe give them
I was talking more All Star.
maybe implement a horse concept or a game of pig type concept. Maybe copy a dunk. or something like that. This dunker does this, you do that, and if you can, if not, it's really tough. And they tried everything: props, teammates, bringing in other people, sitting stuff on top of the rim, blowing out candles. I I think it has to be names, and how do you get the biggest names that actually participate? And that's what it's going to come down to, bro. I have maybe
But
charity.
when I think of like some like the dunk contest and like some of the most iconic moments you mentioned, Johnny blowing the cupcake out, Gerald Green. Gerald Green was never no superstar, but we knew he had bounce.
Yeah, he still had one of the
Derrick Jones
great.
Jr.
Jones a
He
couple
still
years
had one
ago.
of the greatest in-game dunks I've ever seen. He still got one of the greatest.
Is it that windmill alley oop
Oh my God! What man?
when he was on the net?
Yeah.
That was
Who?
ridiculous. That was outrageous. He defied
Uh,
gravity.
yeah,
That
he
was
had money
outrageous.
like no other. But
Well,
That
it's
was
like guys
outrageous.
like
it
this
has
don't
to.
join
It's
the
got to
dunk
be.
contest no more. Like guys like that don't like we got guys like that in the league, but it's like Anthony Edwards, even he's a superstar, but he's got like super crazy bounce. Like I don't understand, yo. It's embarrassing at
They're
this
gonna have
point.
to bring in outside dunkers,
That's a
professional
shame
dunkers.
though. That's even because why bring outside dunkers when you got the most athletic,
NBA
at
event,
least
right?
not the
The
most
best players in the world.
They're
right.
gonna
Why
have
would you want it? Like, come on. So we got to bring outsiders in.
to
It's like, hey, at this point, it looks like that
give
might
them
be the option.
give them a
You
check.
know what I was
Get,
thinking?
go ahead.
Maybe bringing college athletes in, maybe making them having allowing them to be eligible. Like if I don't know,
They'll care.
Yes. How would that work?
that's what I'm saying because
Bringing in college athletes?
they'll
Huh.
care. Like
Hmm. Nah,
Mm.
I mean, at this point, this is what's going to happen. So if there's really no changes, eventually, what income are you going to be able to, to garner from these All Star events? If no, like the expectations get lower and lower, but people still come to the games. It's still packed out, but eventually, it's like it won't be packed out anymore.
yeah, and what made it worse for me was during the dunk contest specifically. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I didn't watch the All Star contest. I was asleep. But the
Okay.
dunk contest, and you can hear like how quiet and how disappointed the crowd was
Yo,
after most of the dunks and like
it was.
it was just like it kind of sucked the gravity out of the room. Like it just made it like uncomfortable, low key.
It was almost like, man, we're really here because it's like they're forced to watch
For
this. It's not even
tradition, we
like,
just here for tradition.
right. It's a tradition.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go. Tradition. They're forcing themselves to
What
watch
they
it.
give them a
it's
check.
definitely a
gi-
tradition now.
Give them a check and tell them and say the winner of this dunk contest. Give them a check, bro, and then let them pick whatever charity they want to give it to. Give it to whatever hood you want, whatever charitable organization you want, whatever organization you want us to donate this check to.
That might stimulate the
Dunk for
motivation.
charity or something like that. Give them maybe some type of morality incentive to get these guys to maybe do it because you can't flash money at them. Not anymore than they already getting them bonuses for even showing up there. Like every interview they take, every hand they shake, they getting paid while they're there anyway. So
Wow.
maybe they'll care more about a cause that they can choose or something like that. That's the only way I can
Maybe.
think that you would get a name like an Anthony Edwards out there, or maybe even like you guys said, like when Ja comes back, but players of that caliber.
Also,
Yeah, I think Josh will participate in the dunk contest. I think so.
I got a question for you. Um, I heard Stephen A. Smith, and he's been saying this is not the first time he said this. He said this like plenty of times, but he's pretty much putting the blame on LeBron
Yeah.
for
I've heard
Uh,
that, yeah.
for
And they put
him not
along with the
participating
All
in
Star
the
game
dunk contest.
too. Lack of
uh,
effort all around. Yeah,
I feel like everyone too buddy buddy.
yeah,
That aside,
Yeah.
and it's too buddy buddy. That's my thing. It's way too buddy buddy. Like
Hmm.
Giannis said this at one point. Giannis has said this. So it's like
I remember.
I don't
Yeah, what
know.
happened to back in the day, bro? When I think players were participating in all three
I used
events.
to go at it, man. They used to talk trash.
Yeah.
I
I
still
think
watch some
players
all.
were.
I will go on
Jordan.
YouTube and watch
I think
old
Jordan
All
did the
Star games.
dunk. I
After
think
I
Jordan did
watched
the
this
dunk.
one, I went back and started watching like 2012.
Yeah.
And you see the difference. It's like day and night.
Mhm.
It's day and night, and it's like, how do you get back to that? Who
I
knows?
think
But blaming
I,
Bron, I don't know. I mean, I can
well,
see why. I can see why, but then it's just like,
I don't get it. It's I wouldn't. Well, as far as the dunk contest, you can, and maybe yeah, I can understand the All Star game though. Why you would blame players like Bron? Because I'm not gonna lie. When Kobe was playing, Jordan was playing, guys took the game serious on that court
yeah,
a little bit more.
yeah.
They weren't having it. I don't know if they called a meeting the night before and they said, "Listen, we're not having this on tomorrow.
Look,
Y'all, we're not about to be
we
lollygagging. We're going to be hooping."
we're gonna
But you
kick
don't
their
got
ass.
that. You don't. Yeah, you don't have that generational player that's willing to have that type of competitive fire. Like I think
Mhm.
we're still waiting on that because you can just
Uh,
tell, bro. Like players play differently when certain guys like those aforementioned names were on the court. But they
Like
just
Luca
commanded
and
a
like Luca
certain
and
type of
Jokic.
like
yeah,
competition,
Luka,
competitive fire.
yeah.
And
I
I
think
get it.
Shea
You could
Shea was
blame
actually playing defense. I
and
had
yeah,
peeped that he was actually playing defense, and he took it seriously. Some guys took it seriously. Majority of
but
them they was
but in
just
the
there to
sense of
compete.
blaming LeBron, in the sense of blaming LeBron, I get it. You could throw KD's name in there too and whatever. He don't slide either. Like it's like what do you got? Like make these guys play. So yeah, I get why Stephen A would say that. As far as the dunk
Oh man,
contest, you just
I
got to
mean,
put the best dunkers on
My
that one.
only thing
Like
is, my only thing is there's no excuse for it as far as worrying about injuries because like we mentioned before, these guys be at Chris Brickley gym, Rico runs, like all types of summer, like
the
all types
Drew
of summer
League,
games, just
Jamal
open.
Crawford, John.
oh
Hmm.
yeah, Jamal Crawford Seattle
Yeah.
pro-am, man.
Like
Yo,
Chad Holmgren literally missed the season playing in the pro am, and nobody wants to say
so
nothing.
okay, that's why. Now, before that, prior to that, I think you. So I think maybe because of that, you think that's probably why, to a certain extent. I didn't know that was way back in the summer,
Might
but
have
still,
something to
that's
do with it.
No,
that is.
no,
Yeah, as far as
because the
influence,
All Star game's been garbage for years, and guys have been doing these summer runs for years now.
All right, that's
it's
fair. That's fair. That's
Even
fair.
maybe
off
like
camera, guys be at
That's fair.
UCLA and stuff like that, like getting runs and during the summer too. Like no,
I'm not
like
gonna
no,
lie.
we
Watching
coming up
those,
on 10 years of bad All Star.
well, yo,
Coming up on it. It's getting real close. Maybe
no.
2016,
2016,
2015 might have
2016
been
was the
what?
last decent one. That
Yeah.
was after that. It just started. You started seeing the decline. You started
hmm
seeing it.
it was getting so bad. That's why they had to go away from the East and West. They had to
I
let
hated
guys
that
rest
too.
on
I
team.
hate that. I really feel like, yeah, I hated that, and I'm glad that, yeah,
Like in what
Eh,
world is Jokic going back in any draft? Like like
yeah.
like MVP Jokic. Like bro, that pissed me off. Just cause it's just like you said, college two buddy guys want to grab their friends. Like
They all,
it's like
they're so buddy, and it's like, man, it's nothing wrong, but it's like, man, when we on the court, it's
this
no
ain't LA
friends,
Fitness,
man.
my
It's
man.
no friends, no friends on the court, man. We got to bring that back. I don't know. Maybe when
Yeah.
Bron retires, guys will start playing like that. You just got to wait for Bron to lead the league. That's all.
how much of it do you think is the presence of social media now?
Colin
That's
Like
Brooks.
all,
guys
yeah,
don't
yeah,
like
yeah.
guys don't want to
Guys,
embarrass themselves. Like
yes,
in the
Kyrie,
dunk
yes,
All Star games, like
yes.
whatever, guys don't want to embarrass themselves. And that's
They
why the
still,
3 point contest stars don't mind doing because it's less of a margin for error. Like Steph Curry not going to air ball back to back threes or something like that, or Dame not going to air ball a tray ball or something like that. Like that's why the stars
listen,
don't mind doing the 3 point contest. But when it comes to the dunk contest and the All Star game, I don't think guys want to like risk doing something or messing up or something like that, or having an off game or having a Jalen Green type of dunk contest where he's missing everything and guys are thinking about it all
That's gonna be the
game.
new
wow.
wave now. Jalen Green dunk
No,
contest.
I
That's gonna be the
listen.
next.
They still killed Brandon Knight for when Kyrie did what he did to him at that
Hmm.
Rising Sun. They still kill him for it.
Oh
That was the
yeah.
Rising Stars game, and that
They
was the
still
Rising
kill him
Stars
for it.
game. But this is the thing also, bro. Think of how many highlights you see of iconic moments, like D Wader's going at it with I can't
Um,
remember who he was going
I
at it
know who
with
you're talking about too.
with
He
That's
went at it
Carlos
with
That's
and
Kobe in the All
amazing.
Star
It's
game. He
amazing.
went at it with Kobe in the All Star game. Yeah, he went at it with Kobe in the All Star game.
Was
wait,
it?
who?
D Wade and Kobe. They went at it in the All Star game.
I said Deion Waiters
No,
Oh,
Waiters.
with
Deion.
Waiters
Oh,
was
Rodney
Deion
second.
Waiters.
Harrison with
Yo,
He
I
had
forgot
that
about
back and
Deion
forth
Waiters.
sequence. He had that
Oh
back and
my
forth
God,
sequence
Tim Hardaway.
up
Tim
underneath
Hardaway.
Tim
Deion Waiters.
Hardaway.
Oh
Quick
my
stuff.
God,
See?
I was
Yeah.
jumping.
See?
I was jumping up. I was watching that game with my brother. We was jumping up back and forth. It was electric. That was
And you know what,
dynamic.
guys? Now that we think about it, now that I think about it, how about this? Speaking of that, what is the most exciting? Because that reminded me of when
That was crazy.
Kobe slapped his hand, when Bron slapped his hands guarding Kobe, or when Kobe was pulling up his shorts guarding Jordan in Jordan's last time with the Wizards for his last All-Star game. What did we love more about it? It was the one-on-ones, right? How about a one-on-one tournament? How about turn the All-Star game into a designated one-on-one tournament
See,
and
but
the
I
best
don't.
of the
But
best
as much
with a
as that's a
target
great
score?
idea, are guys willing to do that at the end of the day? That's the real
Yeah.
Why
question.
not have it?
Also,
Why
and
not
also,
have it? Why not have look? Why not have Paul George versus KD? Target scores 12. Moving on next round,
We would
like
love to
put
see
like the
that.
same,
I'd love to see
like
that.
give them a target score, a quick one-on-one. We're gonna have these guys out there game 21. No, give
Shea
them
Gillis
a
Alexander versus Anthony Edwards. I'd
how
love to
about
see
it?
that one on one.
How about it?
What? I'll pay any
You
ticket.
ever
hey,
heard of
I'd
Rise
versus
and
love
versus
to
Sun?
see that.
We all play
versus
basketball.
me.
How about a Rise and Sun challenge?
Jokic versus Embiid.
Something
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
Like, and you
Listen,
know what? Now that we're
we're talking
spitballing,
about these
and
possibilities that
that's
will
my
never happen.
answer.
I don't want to
Hey,
talk about this.
and now that we
I
spitballing,
don't
that's
want
my
to talk.
answer. Matter of fact, that's my answer for how we can fix the All Star game. Turn it into a one-on-one tournament. Put some
And
But,
structure
and I
around it.
do
Make it
you
make
know
sense.
what?
But give it a Rise and Sun complex.
and I agree with you, Johnny, because I think they should do it in a fashion
Man,
of like they should have
listen.
guards only play against
I
guards,
just feel like
bigs only play against wings, and bigs only because I don't want to see Jalen Brunson play Joel Embiid in a one on
Well,
one.
yeah, you'll put some structure on it. Yeah,
Exactly. Like
make
I
it
want to
make
see like
sense. But yeah,
I
and
want to
that's
see
what
the
made
top
it so
personnel
good
go
about those
there.
All Star games. It's when what's the name took somebody over into the corner and they had their back and forth for 3 or 4 possessions. Then you swing the ball to the other ISO. That was probably the most enchanting thing that kept us watching the All Star game back when it was actually still watchable. It was those one on
right.
ones, those ISOs, man. We love those ISOs.
Yep.
Let's bring it back now. Listen. Let's go to the. Hopefully they change it. They figure it out something. Who knows? But
Something.
let's get.
It's embarrassing at this point. That's all.
Yeah,
It
bro.
really is
It's
embarrassing.
disgraceful. I know Kobe.
The
And Kobe,
celebrity All Star
R.I.P.
game was
Kobe.
better. Shout out CJ Stroud and Michael Parsons. The celebrity All Star game was better. I watched
I
that.
Nah,
didn't
I
get to
actually
see. I
nah,
watched.
heard that Matt.
nah,
Yo,
DJ
they actually
nah,
that joke was actually fun.
nah. I mean, R.I.P. Kobe. But I feel like if Kobe was here, Kobe would have had some kind of change. Kobe would have made a change with this. I know
I
Kobe
He
would
see.
have did a
he
change.
would influenced it for
Speaking
sure.
of CJ
Yeah, he would
Stroud,
have.
I see the video. I see the video early this week. He was dunking on how many Hawkins back in high school, bro. Like he played, like I think they was like in the same class, like freshmen and stuff like that. He was throwing Michael Parsons like, yeah, bro, I gave Javi Hawkins 40.
Yo, they really these guys is multi athletes for a reason, yo. Like shout out to everybody that participated in that joke.
Yeah,
Man.
no, that the 70 game. They got to bring Dave East next year though. He hoop.
Yeah, they had Jennifer Hudson out there.
Kyrie, Dave East hoop, bro. Dave East like
Davies who?
that.
Yo, you know
Mhm.
what's crazy? Chris
Him
Brown.
and KD used to play. I think did KD and him played on the same team? Or they was playing in the same like high school like division. I remember him and KD because I
I
remember
can't.
it was like
Mhm.
I
him
can't
and
remember.
KD
That'd
played
be
ball
interesting.
together. Or yeah, I forgot.
That'd be
KD,
interesting.
Michael
Chris
Beasley,
Brown
something
was
like
mad.
that.
He tried to come back. Chris Brown tried to come back again, and he
Uh,
was
Oh yeah.
mad. They couldn't get him in that joint.
Yeah, he can hoop too. Like, I don't know why they did that.
Hey, bro.
Let's get to the last topic of this NBA episode, man. We're gonna talk about the first half season award predictions. So far, the first half of the season has been concluded when the All Star Week has, it was done. We're entering the second half of the season, but we're gonna give our predictions based off the first half of the season. We're going to pick our individual, winners for these respective awards: the MVP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved Player of the Year. So, beginning with that, Johnny, I'm gonna start with you for a change. Let's go to the meat and potatoes. Let's go to the MVP. Listen, first half of the season concluded. Who are you taking for your MVP? Who you believe will, who you think won it for this first half of the season?
It's between Ant Edwards and Shea Gildress.
How and
In
get
my
in this?
personal opinion,
Oh.
team success. Team success.
Then that's Shea.
That's why I put Ant as like he's a contender for it because the Wolves are still where they're at. But I will say Shea's got the younger team, a little bit less talent, and he's still and for him to be doing what he's doing and having them on the cusp of first place is like that alone deserves an MVP uh nomination, at least for this first half. And on top of that, he's been chasing MVP for the past 2 years anyway. I think the politics finally got out the way, and B got his just due. Now I think, bro, Shay's really on having a tear, bro. Here's an interesting stat that stood out to me. Obviously the 30 points per game again, consistent scoring, passing, and playmaking, but defensively, yo, I gotta give it to him on defense, leading the league in steals. But more importantly, he's got over 21 games with at least 30 points and 2 steals.
Yeah.
I think he's on pace at sports statistics.
Yeah.
According to them, he's on pace for like finishing the season with at least 30, 32, 33, 30 plus games with at least that stat line of 30 plus and at least 2 or more steals. Only other player to do that, Michael Jordan. He had
Oh wow.
35 in a season of games of 30 plus points and at least 2 or more steals, not
Right.
one, 2 or more steals. That's contributing offensively and defensively. It's the two-way, bro. And that's what I respect about this kid. He took defense just as serious as he took offense. He put
Mhm.
you talk about 10 toes down and really just locking up, and the defensive efficiency that he's had is probably the best I've seen him since he's came into this league. And that's what I'm really respecting about SGA. And
Yeah.
honestly, that's what I'm really like. I'm really falling in love with his defense, with his
Yeah.
effort consistently, night in, night out. I know Ant Edwards. I do want to shout out his defensive efforts that he said that he wanted to take defense more serious this year. But as far as productivity and like the amount of matchups that you're seeing, I want to give it to Shea as far as the type of point guards that he matches up with night in and night out, and to have that type of defensive production while on the other end playmaking, while on the other end dropping 30 plus, and you're doing it at this consistency of 20 plus games. MVP, bro. I got to give it to him the MVP condition. However, the reason I did want to mention Ant Edwards is at the end of the day, I didn't expect Minnesota to still be first freaking place, bro. And I know we talk about
It won't be too
coaches hard
long.
to find and good surrounding pieces, and Rudy Gobert might just he might be running away for defensive player of the year. Like again, they might just give it to him. I'm not gonna lie, 12 boards a game, it's making my head roll. But sometimes players fit on good teams. And at the end of the day, Rudy was a good piece. Rudy Gobert is a good player piece. I hate that I feel like my disdain for the type of game that he had was because when he was with Utah, I felt like he was being overhyped as this like one of the league's top five all around big men. If you want to do top five defensive big men, top three,
Mm.
whatever, you could put him up there. But they're like mentioning this dude over. At one point, they were mentioning him over like Embiid, and I just couldn't sit. I just couldn't sit with that. This was a couple of seasons ago, and it just I guess that just never stuck with me with him. So I always probably criticize his game a little bit harder. But I will be
Mm.
that as it may, he fits here. He's fit here. Him and Carl Anthony Towns with that big man pick and roll shuffle that they do between each other, the way they work well with each other. Oh, by the way, 23 points a game. Carl Anthony Towns still producing. Nas
Yeah.
Reed, 12 points off the bench, five boards. I like the
Jelly
others
fan
that they
Nas.
have. McDaniels, the young boy, 12 points per game. I like their others, man. I like
Defensive
this
guy right here.
they gel very well. They're very consistent. As a group, I can't ignore this. I can't ignore their productivity, bro. So I gotta say, and the two leading players on those respective teams are Shea Gilders and Ant Edwards. And right now, for this first half of the season, I would say the MVP comes down to them two, in my personal opinion.
You gotta pick one, my guy.
I give it to Shea then,
All right then.
just because
Say
he's
no
got,
more.
like I said before, he's got the younger team, but he's doing more with less.
Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah.
Kyrie, who's your MVP pick and why? First half, you watched them, study the game. Who's your MVP for the first half? First half MVP.
For the first half, I'm gonna have to actually go ahead and agree with Johnny, man. And it's for a lot of the same reasons. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander putting up 30 points a game, like 7 boards, the 2 steals, Johnny. That's really what's got me into with Shea this season. It was really got me excited to watch the other even more because his effort on the defensive end, like
Rebounding
you
too.
mentioned, rebounding as well.
Rebounding.
He's a big guard. That's always been there. But his ability to get it now and to push the pace and one thing that I really love about his game is his unselfishness and his ability to get other guys involved, but at the same time allow them to create. A guy like J Dub not putting up 19 points or like 19 points a game, um, unless Shea really like kind of took that step back and allowed him to get into his groove and break down the defense and get to his buckets. And he does that with a lot of guys with Chet Holmgren. He finds guys like I can't remember Isaiah Joe in the corner.
Isaiah Joe,
He does
Hey
a good
Joe, hit maker, man.
another
Mhm.
piece that
He's
And
a
we
spark.
traded him. We traded him.
yeah, keep
Right when he
going,
We
started
Kyrie.
traded
getting
him.
good too. Right when he started getting good, but to keep it moving, Shea as far like on that type tip, he uses his ability to attract so much of the defense's attention, and it just leaves guys wide open. And I think that's the epitome of being an MVP when you 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 take that top initiative as the point of attack defender. You're your team's top scorer, and at the same time you're unselfish and you build your team up and you allow them to play to their strengths, and that all revolves around you at the same time. And not to mention, he's a phenomenal closer. Like I feel like any valuable
Right.
player to a top team's got to be a good closer. You got to be reliable when it comes down to clutch time. You got to be reliable when it comes down to hitting free throws, taking smart shots, picking your spots correctly.
He'll
Shea
make the
Gilgeous Alexander.
defensive plays. He'll
Mm-hmm.
make the
He
defensive winning plays.
and
He's
he's got and he's just honestly he's bringing life, bro, back to that to that back to that franchise. I'm a Sixers fan and right hand to God, it is cool to see like OKC play, right? It's cool to see Thunder. Who says I got these Thunder tickets? And everybody, when the last time, you know what I mean? That
Mhm.
wasn't a wave. It's like I got these Thunder tickets. Like nowadays, now you got franchises like I said before, Clippers, Thunder, teams like these that are turning it around. It's so fun the way Shea is playing and how he got the Thunder looking because it still shocks me to see them actually contending.
I'm not gonna lie to
Eh,
you, Johnny. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm supposed to be going to a Thunder game. I'm visiting a friend out in Oklahoma City early March. I'm hyped
What
for
would
that.
wow.
you? Who
Man.
who
Shout
says
out.
that? Like
Hype.
and we can
Shout out.
and that's a respectable sentence now because of Shea.
Mm-hmm.
Like
They're going to Oklahoma is crazy. Shout
But
out.
no, but the thing is the fact that
it's
they moved
probably a
Russell Westbrook,
vibe there
baby. They
too.
always had a popping stadium. They always had a loud ass
They
stadium.
did. Okay, when you think about it,
They got one
OKC,
franchise to focus on. The whole team, they shutting the town down for the game. Go on to the
Right.
game. One of those small towns. They still got them on the door. Showing us
Yep.
shots. Go on to the game. Old school towns.
I always say there are two players in the NBA where I could watch a 30-minute highlight because their game, how they move on the offensive end is just so Luca and Shea. They
Mm-hmm.
look like they play
Yeah.
so slow. And there are players they say, yo, you guys, when you watch them, you think they're moving slow. Well, maybe Luca, but Shea, he's really going quick, but he looks like he's playing so slow. He's like I saw when Jalen Suggs one game, OKC was playing the Magic. Jalen Suggs is one of the best young perimeter defenders. You gotta know Jalen Suggs. He really put that defense. He's really held his own. That's what really kept them
Sure.
really getting the rotation and starting. When I
Fact.
watched Jalen hound Shea, and Shea was still able to maneuver him, and then I watched him thoroughly dominate Jalen Suggs throughout the game. I said, man, this guy.
Yeah. And like
I
you
never
and
saw this out of him coming out of Kentucky, Kyrie. I knew he'd be good.
I'm sure.
I ain't think he was MVP good.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
I'm sure.
So yeah, shout out to him.
yeah, and that's another and real quick, Doncic. That's a name that we didn't expect to drop. Like where was his where what happened to his MVP window? Shea
I
leaked it.
think it's more so the team, more so that
Like
because
this,
Luca.
yeah, this should have been Doncic. He should be in the running as well too. Why are we not
He's
saying him?
averaging 34 right now,
It's
I
Jay
believe.
and Jokic. It's Jay, Jokic, and Edwards. We're saying everybody but Luca. And honestly, who is it? And like you said, he's averaging. He hasn't changed. He
Mm-hmm.
hasn't changed.
So
So
putting like 34, 8 and 8 or something like that. 34,
still,
34.
bro.
Yeah.
And I
I
can't get
think the
with him.
team
He might be.
performance is what's holding him back, honestly. But I don't think
What's
like if I don't know how to feel about that.
what's wrong with
Because
Luca?
it's
And that
because the
might be a
Mavericks aren't
question.
a dominant team. That's what it's coming down to so far this season, and even prior. Like they haven't been a dominant team.
Right.
If the Mav because like Johnny, you said it. Your top two guys were Anthony Edwards and Shea
Yeah.
Alexander. It's safe to say the Timberwolves and the Thunder so far this season have been dominant teams.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
And
why?
Luka never had the Mavericks in that upper echelon of Western Conference teams where we're talking about them as possible title contenders. And
But
because of that, because
he
of the
came close after that after that Phoenix after beating Phoenix in that series, and he never could capitalize like off of that.
right,
That was his chance after beating even no matter what happened at that following year after he beat Phoenix. That was his chance. That to his window started increasing. Now it's just like that thing is cracked now. Like you getting
Right.
like a brisk little chill from it.
yeah. But I think Dante, he's going to be one of. I'm not worried about him like getting MVP because I
He'll
told y'all
win
guys,
it.
and y'all probably remember. I've had him winning like these past 3 seasons up until this season, and he's going to be one of those guys for a while that always puts up MVP type numbers to the
He'll
point
win
where we
it.
kind of get desensitized to it, like
Mhm.
kind of like with LeBron. It was a point in time where it was a legitimate argument for LeBron to win MVP every single for a span every single season.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times he didn't win it, or it kind of got pushed over to another guy's way because you're looking at his numbers and their MVP now he's putting up 27, 7 and 8, and it's like, well, he's done this the past 4 years. Like
Yeah,
we're like this is what we expect from Bron. Like
yeah, I get it. The Joel Embiid scenario, I call it as well.
All right. Okay.
Joel hasn't gotten to
Let's
that
talk
point
about
yet.
the young future, the young guys in the league, man. Let's talk about the rookie of the year. I mean, uh, I actually had Chet winning it until that man Wemby had a
Yeah,
triple.
hell of a
He
game.
had
Yeah,
10 blocks.
yep. This
Hmm.
would be yo.
Uh,
I'm telling you,
yo,
whoever
that
put
kid's a
and
monster.
can I just say, just for the sake of like real quick, we got to start doing it to our restricted zone fans. We got to start doing like a betting segment because for FanDuel purposes, I swear to God, I had something in the back of my head said make it like a $4 ticket and just put Wimby for like over 5 blocks and just send it off. Just see what happens. He had 10 blocks, bro. He had 10 blocks, and and I'm
You
like,
caught a
yo,
good day. You caught a
Hmm.
good day.
I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo. If I had sent that ticket off, I would be so good right now.
Oh
Why
man.
don't I? And why do I not? And I always ask myself this: why do I keep second guessing this young boy's stats? What rookie? What was the last rookie to lead the league in blocks? Like, I don't remember the last. Was it? Well, I don't think we're going that far back, but
I mean, and
I don't
if they
even
give
Maybe
it
think
to Chad,
I don't
if
know.
they
the
give it to
numbers,
Chad,
bro. The numbers are
if
crazy.
they give it to Chad, I would kind of be a little because I get it. You factor in the team maybe, but it's like it's more of an individual type of thing for
When
the
it comes
rookie
to
of the
rookie
year.
of the year, when it comes
It's
to rookie of the year,
individual.
in my opinion, yeah, it's supposed to be individual. The
Yeah.
team is not supposed to come down to it for real, for real.
So Victor, in my
Because
opinion, should be.
half the time the rookies are getting drafted by garbage teams. So it's like, yeah, if they really turned it around, like turned them around, got them into the playoff type time, like okay, I can see. But for the most part, rookie of the year is just who had the best rookie season, like as an individual in my eyes.
Yeah.
I got to agree with you. I think it's Wemby because it was a time during the season where him and Chet were putting up very similar numbers. Chet had him
Neck to neck,
in
neck
the
to neck.
Chet had him in the shooting as far as like the shooting percentages and stuff, but numbers wise, they were right there, and they were both playing like impactful wise nearly as good. Even though the Spurs it doesn't really show because they're a much worse team. But Wemby these past 10, 15, 20 games, has really been putting it together. Has been really getting a lot more comfortable and assertive out there. And honestly, the Spurs have honestly started passing him the ball more and getting him a little more acclimated, and a little more involved into the system. They stopped having Jeremy Sohan play the point guard position, and they're giving Trey Jones some more minutes. So you got a guy that's out there whose sole job really now is to look for Wemby. Feel me? And it's hard to miss him. And his shooting is looking a little bit better. He's finishing at the rim a lot better than I thought he would. And he's really just so fun to watch. Yo. He's really just so fun to watch, and just
still playing limited minutes technically.
Say again?
Yeah, they were limiting his minutes.
They're still limiting his minutes. He's doing all this limited minutes.
And I love that for him too, because they're being careful with him. Like and like they're guiding him. I'm thinking he'll play 40, 38 minutes a game, like right off the rip. Like they know that they know to be like patient with him, and they're kind of like just allowing him to go along at his own pace. But he's exceeding my expectations a little bit more, like as the season is going on. So I'd have to go with Wemby as well.
So you guys, unanimous, Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. There's really not much of a debate.
Yeah.
That's what you feeling too, Johnny? Victor Wembanyama.
Dubs, Mr. W. We'll see. We'll see what he can do when he puts some weight on him.
I got one more thing that I know we got to keep it going, but I got one more thing to say. I'm an honorable man, so I got to admit when I'm wrong. Brandon Miller has been he's been cooking it up to later as far
man, they calling him Paul George 2.0 up right now. That's what they're heaping on him. And I'm saying, well, sheesh.
Yo, since LaMelo Ball a whole bunch of games this season, he's definitely stepped up to the plate. He's been playing well, even though the Hornets have made garbage. He's definitely stepped it up a lot lately. He's looking really good.
Scoot has been awful, but he's playing the hardest position of the league.
He
so,
is. He's had some good games. Like I've watched a lot of games. I'm like, oh, okay, Scoot, you weren't
underrated defender.
Very underrated defender. He's still very overzealous though, and you can see that a lot in his game. He's still he's got that young Westbrook in him, where he's like, I don't care if it's 4 guys at the rim. I'm taking the ball anyway.
No, that's not really ideal. Let's see if he can rein that.
He's still
like you said, Colin, it's the hardest position, and Jalen Suggs had that problem too when he first got in. He kind of had to calm down and have his coach give take the reins back a little bit, yo, slow down, relax. And I think
Russell still plays the same way.
Oh, Russell loose cannon, bro. He gone. He was going.
I don't see no difference, bro. I think he still plays. There's no difference with me with Russ. But no, go ahead, man.
You honestly right. That might be why Chauncey Billups on the hot seat, low key. But listen, I don't want to do that to him because he just got announced as the Hall of Fame inductee. I don't want to do that.
All right, shout out.
But I have seen times throughout the season watching Scoot where he's processing things a little bit slower. He's getting into the pick and roll and looking for guys and making better passes and making better reads.
Okay.
Slowly but surely, he still makes a lot of stupid turnovers and forces stuff. But he's a young point guard, and that's his play style. He's going to be 100 miles an hour, and he's going to make mistakes. But he's shown some promising flashes so far this season. Has he been a little disappointing? Yeah, he has. I gotta admit.
I wouldn't say little, but at the end of the day, you got to always factor in he's playing the hardest position as a young guard.
And he missed games with an injury. He had to work himself back through the G League a little bit as well. We got to put stuff in the context here. Look at All-Star Thompson, who starting off, he looked like a top 5.
Yeah, our draft, we like him too.
I still like All-Star, but he's playing for the Pistons right now. That they're so bad.
Monty Williams, I really feel like you get a different coach. They're not really as bad as they are. I think Monty's just a flatline awful, horrible coach.
Might not be wrong.
But right now, in the reality of it, he hasn't put a star in good positions to
at all.
He hasn't.
Jaden Ivey was a starter for damn near the first half of the season.
And he's been doing since he has been starting. And Killian Hayes doesn't have a job right now.
Killian Hayes is a bust. When this contract is done, he'll be out the league. I promise you. I'm sorry. I hate even talking like that. But Killian Hayes is bust.
I mean, he don't got a job right now.
He's awful. He's awful.
But yeah, bro. So what I'm saying is we can't be too quick to write off rookies because one, context matters. Whatever's going on in the rookie season matters,
Of
and
course.
two, we can't make judgments and we can't make like solidify statements on guys that are 35, 40 games into their rookie career. Feel me? Like, cause
No, I mean, I expected him to play bad because he's playing that particular position, but it was like worse than bad. Like the first
but
20
can you
games.
tell me anybody on the Blazers that's playing good?
Well, Shane Sharp was the only
Jeremy
one.
Grant.
Dennis Sharp
uh,
was
it,
playing good until he got hurt.
it Simmons actually, I expected him to take over, and he just hasn't
Hasn't. I
taken that.
expected DeAndre Ayton to take over too and dominate in the
Oh,
playoffs.
don't even mention that guy. Don't even mention that guy, man. Don't even mention that guy's name.
DeAndre.
And someone asked me the other day, a coworker asked me, "Yo, do you think DeAndre Ayton's a bust?" And I had to really stop and pause and think about it. And I had to say, man, is he? Well, if you look at his stats, if you look at him, he looks like it's not number one pick stat, but it's like I don't know. Is he a bust? I had to really stop. I said I don't know.
Luka
it,
I'm gonna
Doncic.
ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys. You think he's a
it's
bust?
like he played softer when he went to Portland. It's like he
Like
played softer.
It's
I'm
because
seeing.
he thinks he's good. He
It's
thinks
like,
he's
yeah,
a max
bro.
player now, so he don't got nothing
And
to
I
prove.
swear to God,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
watching
kills
the
me.
Sixers. Yo, Phoenix is so like we not buying that, bro. You got to go. And
He
I'm
should
gonna
be
show y'all.
dominating right
And
now.
I'm just telling you how that didn't go well for him. Like I actually like I thought in my head Phoenix might re-sign Aiden and give him another chance because of how deep they went. Well, you know how deep they went in the playoffs. They got rid of him, and I'm like, all right. Aiden might go ahead and might not. He might end up showing that he's not that bad after all, because that's usually what happens. And it's like he got worse. And
I've
I'm
seen
like,
so many
oh,
every
he
time I
did,
check his
bro. I'm
stats,
waiting for him to show the Phoenix Suns that they were wrong. Like,
every time
what?
I check his stat on ESPN, it'll be like he'll have 12 points and 6 rebounds. And he's like 7 foot. It's beyond me. It's really
That's
beyond me.
bad, bro.
It's
The
beyond
young
me.
boy, Doo-Wop Reese from Australia, the African big man, he's coming in and taking his minute. He earned a deal on him. He earned a deal. He earned a 3-year deal. Like he's been snapping. He's nice. I ain't even gonna cap.
Listen, man. God, listen.
Well,
You think he's a
not
bust?
taking nothing from him, but
You
yeah, he
think he's
might
a
be.
bust, Kyrie?
Do I think DeAndre Ayton's a bust?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's a
No.
bust because
But he's
he
on that. He's on that path though. He's starting to
he
get on that path.
And another 3 years, if he don't step it up, he another 3 years, he gonna get. It's gonna be him and Kwame.
but I think there's
Really?
there's a
No,
level.
Kwame was there.
Nah,
Kwame was there,
You said he
bro.
on pace. See, that's the
But
pace he headed to.
but but it's levels to this best though, which is crazy though. It's levels to it. You got Kwame
Okay,
Brown,
Kwame never
and
produced,
then
but
you
Aiden's
you
gonna
got
be one
Anthony
B.
Bennett. So you got Anthony Bennett. You got Kwame Brown. Those are like the lowest of the like. Holy man, this is.
And
And then
Aiden's
you got
y'all like Aiden over Bennett? Taking
Aiden
Calvin
is
Bennett.
over Bennett.
What over
Aiden
Bennett? Yeah.
over Bennett. Yeah, yeah. I'm mad. I just hesitated. I'm what the hell?
I didn't
Uh,
understand what you were asking at first. Like we gotta remember, Ayton did play in the finals.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm like, they got disrespecting them a little too much. Hold on. I
I'll say this.
hesitated.
I'll say that. I'll end off with this about Ayton. Yeah, when it's all said and done, I don't think he'll be regarded as a bust, but he'll be a tier right above, slightly above that, as
Oh,
wildly,
okay. Okay.
wildly disappointing. I should say. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
there you
Oh, of
go.
course.
All right, yeah, for sure,
A
for
massive
sure.
underachiever.
Wildly
A massive
disappointing.
underachiever. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the sixth man, the guy that comes off the bench and he either lights it up or he can shoot you out the game. But the sixth man usually the guy that can raise you up and raise your play to a whole nother level. Johnny, who's your sixth man first half so far of the season? Who's your sixth man first half of the year? Six man of the year.
My six man, my bench
Yes,
beast.
yes.
Honestly, my bench beast. Honestly,
Oh,
bro, I like I'm a huge fan of Nas Reed. I really do.
Mm,
I'm a huge
mm,
fan of Nas Reed
Breakfast also.
from the Timberwolves
okay.
as far as like a big leader for like coming off the bench and just producing. Honestly, he does it so quietly, but like unless you're like a Wolves fan, if you watch them, like he just quietly, consistently produce. He gives that, and he does it in a rotation of a front court that's not crowded, but it's like, it's easy to get lost in that rotation. But he comes in and he consistently proves to the team that you can still use me. I know we got Carl, I know we got Big Cat and Rudy, but off the bench, yeah, I'm him. You can still use me. And he's gotten better over the couple of years. Like from what I've seen, he came in as like a spark plug guy, mainly like defense, energy, and he slowly developed an offensive game that got himself a jump shot. Like he just played more consistent. And I don't like to add team success into when it comes to 6 man role. I like to look
You
at it like
you
a
you
rookie
you
year, like more
you
of the
you should
individual.
though. But you
It's
should.
not so much, not so much. I'll have it. It does matter to an extent
It,
to team
no,
success,
it's
but because you can have like you can have players like a Lou
what?
Will or like a Jamal Crawford that were never
But they
really
made
on
the playoff.
prime
No, no,
teams.
they made the
And
playoffs with those six man years.
with their 6 man award, they haven't been on like championship respectable teams, and they still gotten
Yes,
the
they
6 man
had.
award.
No, when
So
Jamal
team
Crawford was
success
on the
gets
Clippers.
measured. Yeah, it gets measured, but not to the extent of like how far you went in the playoffs, like an MVP does. Like a six
Okay.
man, a 6 man will it judges the team success, but only to a certain extent. But if you, I would have to throw that in there. Shoot, man, the Wolves didn't have to be number one. They could have been top five, and I still would have liked Nas Reed fixed 6 man of the year.
So Nas Reed averaging 12.2 points a game, 4.6, one assist, shooting 49% from the
About
field.
20 minutes, I think. Is he
No,
less than that?
no, I'm not with Nas Reed. I'm not with Nas Reed. I mean, I can see why, but go ahead. No.
No, that was actually that was actually my pick too. And I mentioned that last episode too that he's having a 6 man a year, a 6 man of the year type of season. And it's
Hmm.
and the numbers might not jump out at you, but it's how well he plays his role and
Does
when
it
he steps
quietly.
up.
Right, right.
Exactly.
And if
Exactly.
you're factoring that,
Nas Reed steps up when the Timberwolves need him the most, when they need him to plug in for Rudy when he's in foul trouble, when Raquet's shots not falling down. Like he can come in and plug in for all that because he's got the length, he's got the ball handling ability, he's got the shooting ability, and overall, I think he's just a great glue guy for that, like for that team and for that big man rotation. Because like I mentioned before, he brings a lot of the same characteristics Cat has as far as like I mentioned, ball handling, being able to shoot, being able to get his own bucket. Nas Reed has a lot of that in his game as well, and he can pass the ball too a little bit too. So he's just a great connecting piece to everybody that's out there on the floor. Also, he's not afraid to shoot it. So when you're playing hot potato with the ball, you need somebody that needs to get a shot off. I see Nas Reed as being one of those guys that take that initiative as that bench guy. So we gotta get. I personally got. I can't think of
I
many other
mean,
bench players.
You
so
could
look, all
you
right,
could
so hold on. Well, so let me do this. So I'm gonna give you the odds after All Star break, like the 6 man of the year odds.
okay.
So
Because
they
I was
had
about to say, don't
Malik.
forget. I was about to say, don't forget about that. It's a hate and love game with me and this guy over in the Clippers, but I got to give it to Norman
Russell.
Powell. I know
Oh,
I like Norman Powell only off his shooting percentage, but I don't like him over Nas Reed. I think Nas Reed produces for his team more, but Norman
Norman's
Powell
in
has
my
been
top
has been on
three.
a heater this first half of the season.
Yeah, but no, Norman Powell's is in the top three. Like Malik Monk, they have him as the runaway favorite to win 6 man of the year. Then you have Tim Hardaway Jr. following up. He's runner up contention. And
That's
then
been
you have
good.
Norman Power. Then you got Karis LeVert. You got yeah. So I see the Nas Reed. I
Karis
understand your
LeVert.
points. Yeah, Karis
Oh,
LeVert.
Cleveland's
Don't
hooping. I'm
don't
not gonna
don't
lie.
don't don't
They
don't do
are
that. Don't do
hooping.
that.
I like
Don't do
Karis.
that.
I'm thinking Nas
Don't do
Reed.
that.
I'm thinking you. I like Norman Powell as a bet. If you're gonna put somebody over Nas, I like Norman Powell as
I'll do
far
that.
as Karis LeVert, as far as like that MVP lineup. I put Powell. Oh, Karis LeVert. That's tough, bro. That's
That's
tough.
tough.
Cleveland's got a lot of good others. Isaac Okoro. Oh no, he starts. I'm sorry, he starts.
Cleveland's number 2
He
right now
starts.
in the East, I believe,
Yeah, he
right?
starts. But yeah, but I'm talking about as far as their bench. Yeah, all right, I can see Karras up there. I'm surprised he was up 5.
Yeah,
Have I been underrating
he's
him this year?
well. I mean, I don't know.
I
Is
might
it
have been
because it's the
underrating him this
Cavs?
year.
But the Cavs are really a great team this year. So I don't.
Yeah.
Karis LeVert not a household name at the end
Yeah,
of the day. He's not someone.
he's had
He,
spurts in Brooklyn. I've always been a fan of him.
yeah,
But
Brooklyn. He was more well known in Brooklyn, in my opinion. I
I've
feel
always
like
been a
people pay
fan of
attention.
him. I'm not surprised he'd be up there, but for fifth, okay. Team success does matter. See,
I mean, but I would say Malik Monk just because he's going crazy right now. I mean, the Kings are not where they should be, in my opinion. But the West is so like it's such a battle right now in the West, where it's
hmm
like the Kings went from being the number one, no, number 2 in the West, and then now they're like 7 to 8 right now. So it's like
hmm
but no, it's great choices though. I don't blame you guys. But
not bad.
We're gonna go right to the defensive player of the year. All right, Johnny, let's start with you. Who do you have as defensive player of the year? Who do you have?
It's looking like I want Jaron Jackson so bad, but I think his window might have missed it
Ah,
over Rudy because I think Rudy will
yeah.
get it. Like, I've said this before, and I think like if I'm not even gonna base it on politics, bro. He's fitting very well in over there in Minnesota. He's locking that paint down. He's giving you about 12 boards a game. I think about almost 2 blocks, and
Rudy looks like he might win it.
yeah,
Um,
he's the runaway for it, dog. He's just the runaway.
Rudy, and then I would say Jared
But
Allen's
they're
my
not giving
brother.
it to a wing. They're not going to give it to a wing no more. They're done with that. Well, for a while, for a couple seasons before they shift back to the wing.
Up
But
until he got hurt, OG and Anunoby, and that was my pick preseason. But
I
OG
like
Uh,
and
him,
Anunoby
bro.
was throwing
Very
his
two
hat
way.
into
yeah,
that ring right
yeah,
before he got hurt. He was throwing his hat
because
into that ring.
he changed your whole identity. Like he's made y'all a legit threat now to any team. That's not the Celtics, but every other team is a legit threat.
One of my Sixers to get so bad.
No, the
We need a
Sixers.
wing defense.
No, the Sixers are the Sixers better than the Knicks? Well,
No,
No, did y'all see what happened last time we played college? Don't have to
don't get
remind
him
me.
talk. We ain't on the way
listen,
to
I
get you
know.
yet, Kyrie. We ain't on the
Listen,
way to get you
Kyrie.
yet.
Listen, we're not gonna start it out. We're gonna
We
go
ain't
to the
on the way to
next
get them
award.
yet.
We're gonna go to the next award. This is the final award. We're gonna do most improved. We're not gonna do coach of the year. Just most improved.
What?
Who first? Go ahead, Johnny.
No, I'm my fault. Who you? My fault. Go ahead, y'all. I'm gonna
So
say this after Kyrie.
we're gonna end. We're gonna end it off with this award. The first half, in your guys' opinion, who's your most improved first half player of the year? Who is it, Johnny? I'm gonna start with you.
Can I
You get
be?
to
Can I? All right. So I don't have a most improved, but I'm about to be a straight bias fan right now. I'm speaking strictly as a
go.
Sixer, and I'm sorry, but I got to say this. This has been my young bull for the past couple of days. Ricky Council the fourth, as I swear to God, we signed this kid on a 2 year deal,
Dude,
undrafted rookie out of the G League. On past 3 games, he's been dropping about 14 points, almost 7 boards, and he's shooting about 47% from the field.
He's
He's the
not
spark
serious.
plug that we need. This kid came on a 2 way deal. He is. We need to sign him at the end of the
Yeah,
season. And
yeah,
I love us so much, but I hate us
yeah.
because we are the type of team that gives away players like this. So he'll go to the way the Sixers are. We'll trade him. He'll go somewhere. He'll snap somewhere else and have a great life away from the
Yeah.
Sixers because that's what we do. We trade away good young talent, and he's getting good, and he's scaring me because we're going to go ahead and trade him because we don't. Our front office is idiots. But Ricky Council the fourth, I want to give you your flowers while you're here because
Listen,
we're going to
I'm
do
not.
something stupid. We're going to do something stupid to where as though he's gone. I wish I could give him most improved, but I don't think he's played long enough. But
He
expect
hasn't played
more
long enough.
minutes from him after the All
Mm.
Star break. But Ricky Council the fourth, thank you, brother, from rising from the ashes. I really appreciate you, sir. Like this
Kyrie,
kid
I
is
you
just
know
just
what's crazy?
incredible.
want to
What
say,
was? I was
I just
shocked
want
he
to say,
wasn't drafted. I was shocked.
I was just about to say in our draft episode, I told y'all he was a first round pick in my eyes.
I was
He was a
shocked he
first
didn't
round.
get drafted.
Tell him, Kyrie. Tell him.
He
We
was a
we
first
al- we
I
round
was
pick.
always we do
And
this.
I
shocked.
was
We
then
always
the
do it the
other young
previous
boy y'all
segments.
got, Traquavion Smith, another
Yeah,
one that was
he
highly
didn't get
touted.
drafted. I was
Nope.
shocked too. I'm like, sheesh.
Ricky
What?
Council
What?
was the first round pick, and I said that.
Listen, I love and listen, but you know what? At least the Sixers are still having the war. I mean, there's no, it won't be Ricky, John, but we know
Yeah,
who win the
I
most
know,
improved.
but
I,
he proves he can play in this league. He's proved
Right,
every
he
time
did. He
he can
does.
be
He
a
does.
he proves
He
he can
does.
play
bro,
in this
And I
league.
hope he's a long term fixture for us too. I really
Yeah,
do.
we do dumb things like this, bro. We trade away young talent. He'll go somewhere,
Kyrie,
and well, I will be crying and watching him playing somewhere else.
who's your most improved, Kyrie?
gotta be my guy Stengu over in Houston, bro. Alperin
Oh
Can
Stengu.
you?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. You
okay,
got it.
okay.
I've been
But no, I
talking about
can't
him all
get him over
season.
Tyrese Maxey. I can't. I can't.
Hey, as a Sixers
Shout out
fan,
to
I expect you
Maxie,
to say
first
that.
All Star, baby.
But but you guys never talk about the young boy from the Bulls, man, Kobe White. You got
He has,
yo,
he has
yo,
two type of things.
yo. And
He
people kind
has.
of forgot about him because Lonzo went over
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
they put him in the back burner. But Lonzo got hurt.
Neither. That's actually another. I'd actually throw him in there with Sengun, in my opinion.
Kobe
To be
White,
between,
man.
yeah.
I really feel like if Tyrese Maxey wasn't having such a dominant season, I would really give it to Kobe White just
Mm-hmm.
because he kind of looked like that lottery pick that you know what, this guy's probably just gonna be just an average guy, and he really playing to his. He was
Mm-hmm.
drafted seventh, Kyrie
Mm-hmm.
seventh by the Bulls or
And that's
eighth,
and
a
a lot
top
of
10 pick.
Seventh
underrated
or eighth.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, about seven.
Mhm.
Underrated pressure that he played through too. I know he was sick of turning on the news and reading the Chi-Town Tribune about
Yeah,
everything that
yeah,
was not about him and always about Lonzo. So
yeah.
there goes that underrated chip that we don't speak about that he probably had on his shoulder coming into camp. Like, hey, I can run this backcourt as well. So
His
little
name would
things,
Right.
be
you know
in
what I mean?
trade talks for a while. His name was in trade talks for a while
Yeah, of
too.
course. Yeah,
He
yeah.
was. Yeah, I remember. I remember. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn,
bro.
Kobe White.
Yo,
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
you better stop letting these players hear about these trade talks, bro. I had Donovan Mitchell naming trade talk, and he dropped like 50 like the next game. I don't know if
I
he's
don't know
doing this as a
why the
psychological move or what,
Cavs.
but
I
these
don't even know
players,
why the
bro.
Cavs. Yeah,
Kobe's
that's
having a
crazy.
great year in his contract year, but there you go.
Listen, man. And that concludes episode 144 of the Restricted Zone podcast, man. The hell of an episode. We all damn near got so excited about these topics because we really thought about these topics. We really wanted to give you guys the best episode. We try to give you guys the best episode every day. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this episode as much as we enjoyed recording this. Shout out to Johnny and Kyrie. You know, shout out to everyone on the podcast. Kendrick, Fiend, Lodge, Mar, Chris, Jonan, you know, Greg. Shout out to the whole squad, man. You know, these guys are busy, but you know, just be ready and tuned. They'll be back in action. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This will be uploaded to YouTube. The audio version will also be up on all platforms. We're talking about Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, whatever's out there. We're on it and we're free. Don't gotta pay a dime. All we ask is just for your support. Share, leave a comment, let us know what you like, what you dislike. You know, you can follow us on Instagram individually, all of the guys, part of the crew. It'll be in the link in the description below. So check us out. DM us what topics you think we should talk about. Follow the Instagram page at Restricted Zone Pod. So, you know, we appreciate it, guys. And we'll be back with another episode for you guys, man. Peace.